So recently, Ridley Scott announced that the next Alien movie, surprise, he's actually gonna make another Alien movie, despite the terrible box office performance of Alien Covenant.
Yep.
He announced that the next Alien movie is gonna be more centered around David, the androids themselves, and all this subplot element that he introduced in Prometheus. And I don't know about you, but I sat there and I read that and I go, shouldn't have that happened in Alien Covenant?
Yeah.
But anyway, let's talk about this. We did see Alien Covenant when it came out. In fact, we were pretty excited about, or at least I was. I don't know if you were. I was excited for it. One, I love Ridley Scott.
I wasn't really excited when it was announced, but then we saw Prometheus, and I actually thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yes.
So I was like, all right, I'm in now.
Yeah, we were one of the few people that enjoyed Prometheus.
Yeah.
Because we thought first it was a excellent grand scale sci-fi, and ultimately, really, he should have just made Prometheus its own series and not linked it to the Alien series. I could see where he's going. It's pretty obvious where he's going. This nihilistic, bleak ending, which would be the Alien movie that's already been out since 1979 or whatever. But it really would have benefited from just being its own series. He could have gone a lot further with it. But we were really excited. We actually really enjoyed Prometheus. I know that's not a popular opinion, but there you have it. So we were excited to see it because of that, Yeah, I, like you, was not like because I saw Prometheus with you for the first time. I wasn't too excited about the idea of another Alien movie. But then I said, well, we got to see it. It's Scott. It's Alien. We got to see it. Let's watch Prometheus to get ready for it.
At the very least, we could do it for this channel.
Yeah.
Which we ended up not doing.
Yeah. Now, we usually don't discuss movies on the way home. We save the discussion for the screen. But there was a markedly deep silence on the ride home after Alien Covenant.
It wasn't until like a couple weeks ago that the silence was broken.
The silence was broken, yeah.
And it was kind of like a...
It was like a burden.
It was like a little bit of a feeler from you, I believe. And then I was like, yep, you're right.
Yeah, man. It was a dud.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
It was not good. And I know a lot of people praised the fact that it went back to being more like Alien, but I think that was the worst part of the movie. Yeah. It shouldn't have immediately gone back into Alien territory. There was so much left to be answered from Prometheus and so much laid out that was like, if you really paid attention, if you really got Prometheus, this is where I think the problem is. Despite what a lot of people say, I don't think a lot of people really got Prometheus. But anyway, let's say if you still got it and you just didn't like it, that's fine. I mean, I understand that. But if you got it, even if you didn't like it, you should have been like, these questions need to be answered. Yeah. And not immediately, but there needs to be a movie of its own. It needs to naturally flow into the Alien thing. And this thing just went...
Yeah, it's just like, screw all that shit.
Yeah, let's just go back to Alien territory.
This is proof that you should not listen to fans.
Yes, absolutely. And, oh man, you're absolutely right. Because this was clearly a response to the fan backlash towards Prometheus. And as a result, we got this chopped up, hackneyed effort, you know?
Yes, and that's the biggest problem, I thought, is it's like half of a movie pasted into another half.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Once David comes in, it just becomes another movie. And a more interesting movie, but still it's so like lazily put together, not clumsily put together.
Yeah.
That you're just like, ah.
The problem is that when David eventually, and here I was like, they got to bring David in eventually, right? I mean, he's at the beginning of the movie. Clearly, he's going to come in. They got to tie up all these loose ends from Prometheus.
Oh, don't forget that they tied up some loose ends on YouTube videos.
Oh, yeah. Well, there was that. That was stupid.
Yeah,
but anyway.
Super dumb.
I was like, this has got to come in at some point. So I really sat bored most of the time through the Alien stuff. The traditional Alien start of the movie, because we'd already seen that movie and done 10 times better.
And there wasn't even an alien yet. All the beginning stuff is just people standing around, and not being interesting like the first movie was.
Yeah, the first movie had that spirit of exploration nailed down, and there was actual suspense and kind of like a like a foreboding fear of this new world and the implications of a God that has forsaken us and all this stuff. It had all that weighty matter on it. This movie was just like, all right, well, we know we're just waiting for the alien thing. Again, that movie had been made in the 1970s 10,000 times better. So why did we go back to it so quickly? So I just sat through the first. I mean, I appreciated some of the stuff. Some of the stuff was really nice looking. We can always expect it to look nice from Ridley Scott, but ultimately it was just a waiting game for me.
The characters were duds.
Yeah, the characters were nobodies. Who cares? Expendable.
Not even Kenny Powers could save this baby.
And when Kenny Powers can't save it, you know you got a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Once David comes in, my feelers went up, and I was like, okay, well, finally we're gonna get some answers at the very least.
And then you get erotic flute playing.
Yeah, man. What the fuck was that? The flute playing.
No, I get what it was.
I get it.
I understand what it was, but flutes.
And interestingly enough, when he comes in, they throw away everything they built up with the more traditional alien.
Yes, that's the problem.
And it goes back to the themes of Prometheus.
It's like a Prometheus Light.
Yeah, only it's... the weird part is, yes, it feels like Prometheus Light, but the themes are darker because David is very clearly portrayed as a Luciferian figure outright. You know, again, which ties into the religious symbolism of Prometheus. Yes, I love that, but it was not enough.
It's not enough.
And it didn't fit at that point.
Nope.
And then they reveal that all the interesting stuff that you wanted to see
already
happened. And then this character that, whether you liked her or not, that you grew up to expect something, that you sat through hours to watch and expect something of, he just killed and she
died in a YouTube video.
Yeah, so it's like, man, everything I wanted to see in this, even if I had not liked Prometheus, I'd still want that storyline to be bridged properly. You just threw away, and now we have this character already come to this Luciferian form, as it were, and there you go. We just skipped all this interesting build-up and just gave us a standard 1970s rehash.
That's not good.
That's not good. Of a movie that was already done
completely
better.
Wasted all the stuff they were building up with, what are they called? Space jockeys?
Mm-hmm.
Completely, engineers are completely wasted, and it's just lame.
And that was the big thing about Prometheus, the themes of God and or gods, as it were, and the abandoned creation and the implications of that and the answers, which if you dig into what is being laid there, the groundwork that is there, and you could figure out those answers on your own, but that was the kind of the point of Prometheus, that we wanted this person to show us these answers.
This felt like Prometheus built up a house of cards, and Covenant just came in and took the bottom one out, and it just fell apart completely.
Yeah, really.
Now, looking back, if you're gonna put Prometheus in the series, Covenant kind of made it pointless.
Yes, absolutely.
You're like, really? That was a pointless shit. It just undid everything.
Now that this announcement has come out that we're going to go back to those themes, there is a chance that it may be put back on the rails, as it were. But again, it just swept the rug out from under it, took out that stuff that was so pivotal. Imagine the discoveries this chick would have made before before she was so quickly killed, apparently, about the engineers.
Yeah.
Just imagine that. Now we have to go through another device to get those answers, if at all. And that's sad, man. That's sad. It's such a wasted opportunity. Yeah. But maybe, just maybe, he can write it again in some form or fashion. But I don't know, man. That Covenant really fucked things up.
Of course, we had the revelation, I guess, that David created the xenomorphs.
Mm-hmm.
That was okay. It could have been so much cooler.
It was not.
It was so underwhelming. I remember
it took the wind out of
completely.
Anything.
I remember once he revealed that he was working on the eggs and shit. I was like, oh, xenomorphs kind of suck now. It just kind of made everything bland.
The thing is, that revelation would have been perfect
if it had done well.
Yes, if the themes would have bridged properly.
Yeah.
Again, heavy religious symbology in the and allegory in Prometheus, and then that big gap of nothing at the beginning of Alien Covenant, and then we pick it up again, and that by that point you're like,
it's so disjointed.
Yeah,
it's just like, what is this?
You're like, okay, that revelation would have been awesome. You know, here is the Luciferian figure trying to be the god, take the throne, as you were, or the creation rebelling against its creator. Those themes just, yes, deflated entirely by that what preceded it in that just strictly alien movie portion of Alien Covenant. So,
not to mention that
inexplicable choice.
Once they finally get to the planet, is when David comes in, but that's also when the alien comes in, and all the alien stuff fell flat for me.
Yes,
because it was just like, it took away all the like
suspense.
Yeah, all the like. I know I've heard this before, and I kind of have to agree. Seeing the alien fully like walking around and shit kind of like took it away.
I think I agree. I mean, there were some really nice shots in it.
It looked great,
but
it was not effective.
Yeah, it was not. Ultimately, it looked too much like CGI because most of the time it was super CGI enhanced prosthetics.
And we do get some cool new stuff like the I forgot
the Neomorph.
Yeah, Neomorph. That was cool. It just wasn't enough.
Yeah, I mean, it just didn't work overall. There was none of the dread and suspense of the original Alien movie, and you didn't even have to keep him in the dark for that to be achieved. I mean, look at Aliens, which granted is more of a sci-fi action movie, but the aliens still work, even though you see them all the fucking time in droves.
It doesn't help
this just doesn't work.
It doesn't help that you don't care about any of the characters.
That absolutely does not help. I mean, the closest I got to giving a shit about someone was fucking Kenny fucking Powers.
Or fake ass.
And his wife.
Other David, whose name I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean...
And they're flute playing.
Ultimately, just a complete waste.
Yeah,
complete waste of time.
It wasn't good.
Complete waste of time that robbed us of the storyline established and achieved nothing but what we already knew was going to happen.
Yep.
So, what was the point? But anyway, we're here hoping that Scott will right the ship in some form. Really, really surprised that they're still giving him the go-ahead. But you know what? Scott always gets these massive budgets. And whether you like the movie at the time or not, he always manages to kind of grow a cult around the movie. I don't think Alien Covenant is going to be one of those movies. I think
this is going to age worse.
Yes.
Because we're starting to see Prometheus get a little bit of a following.
Yes.
I don't think Covenant is. I think the nostalgia of Covenant got some people into saying it was a good movie, but overall it wasn't good.
It was not good.
If we were to make a top 10 worst movies that we've seen this year, that would be in there.
That would definitely be in there. Which is sad, man. It's really sad.
Okay, technically, visually, it's a good movie visually and all that stuff, but story-wise, it's ass.
Yeah. So, a dud. We hope he rights the ship. There's hope, man. I mean, he was a producer on Blade Runner 2049, which, granted, I haven't seen yet because funds, 1, and 2, it came out. Like, I wasn't even aware it had come out. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? It already came out? And 3, you haven't seen the original, so we have to catch up on that and then see it again, or see the sequel. But it's across the board been getting fantastic reviews, and he was heavily involved in that as producer. So
he just needs to stop listening to the fans.
Yeah, really, he should have stopped listening to the fans the moment they said anything against Prometheus. Fuck it, man. You're Ridley Scott. Just do what you set out to do, which should have happened. Clearly, the fans affected what came after Prometheus, and we got a stinker, an upright stinker.
Yep.
You know, whereas Prometheus was kind of like split. Either you hate it or you love it. This one's just like, oh, whatever, man. Who cares? Who cares? Even if the people that said, yeah, this is a step up, ultimately, at the end of the year, they're not going to remember this thing. It sucked. It was pointless. But, yeah, so anyway, here's hoping it gets fixed. What did you think about Covenant? What did you think about Prometheus? And even if you hated Prometheus, do you think Covenant was an improvement or not? Where is this going? Let us know. Like, share, subscribe. And we're out.